I'm really excited because our guest is Gaetana Angiolin. And I'm more than happy because she is, first of all, a great professional people person. As you know, she's the director of marketing communication of PVH company. That is the company that own two brands, that is Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. And I'm also happy because she was my boss just I think 10 years ago or something like that. So I have to thank her for all my life, for everything, for every single thing she teach to me. And Manoj, may you unmute Gaetana, please, because
Yes.
she's already with us.
Ah, yeah, just give me a moment. I'm just letting in students in 1 second. Yes, I see her.
Okay, great. May you see her, guys?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Angelica. Ciao, Manu.
Ciao, guys. Okay, so probably some of you met Gaetana in Milan. Some of you that came for the European trip in Milan, you met her personally in her office, and it was a great experience. So you know that it's not easy to have people like her sharing so much time, and that's why I would love to give her the possibility to start this webinar, because I think that because you see me, you will see me. Today we can stay also a little bit longer. I hope you will have time, because it's really interesting speech, and for sure it will give you something that you will remind, something different. So as always, we can start, and then after then Gaetana start to talk. You can ask something. Of course, she has to finish first, because otherwise it's too difficult for her to reply to all the questions that I'm sure you will ask to her. And after that, we are all together to discuss about this. And then I will go ahead with my topics to finish what I didn't finish last time. So, Gaia, if you want, you can start, because I really want to give you the first time where the students are more concentrated, because it's an honor for us to have you here. And
honor for me to be here.
Thank you. So, guys, please put your attention, and Gaetana can start to talk with us.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, let me thank you to Angelica and Manoj for inviting me today. It's my honor to talk to you. I always enjoy to have a conversation with the young people, because I can tell you a lot of things, but always I take inspiration from young generation. So it's really great for me to be here. So let me introduce a little bit myself. My name is Gaetana. I'm living in Milan, but I was born in Venice, northeast of Italy. I got a degree in law, so I supposed to be a lawyer at the beginning of my career. But then my love for fashion was so huge that I couldn't do anything else except of working in fashion. Beginning of my career, it was more on the luxury. It was more on the luxury segment, and I started and I had the pleasure to work with big designer like Martin Margiela, D Square, and Vivienne Westwood, which was the first part of my career. And then I decided to move into a casual segment, because I was looking for a job more agile, more fast, and where I can express my creativity a little bit more than on, let's say, a luxury segment. And I always did, and I'm still doing, marketing and communication. In the last part of my career, I had also the responsibility of visual merchandising, both for retail and wholesale channels. And yeah, it's now 9 years that I'm in PVH, working for Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger, taking care about the Italian market. And having this overview on these Americana brands, it gave me an opportunity to connect with different kind of people, different way of working, and to enlarge my responsibility. The areas remain the same, as I told you, communication and marketing most of all. And let's start, I think, from the most important assumption of my job. If you think the working in marketing communication is just like meet fancy people, go to glossy party, do fashion show with important people, or talk with a celebrity and influencer, that is not. It's a small part of the job, but the most important part of my job, and I will say the main part of the job, is engaging with the consumer, is giving them a reason to get close to the brand, make their heart beat faster, not because or not only because of the product, but because the emotion you can generate. Because at today's moment, doing marketing and communication is being a storyteller, is inspire people by creating stories. And by doing that, you have to be also a little bit of scientist. We are scientists because we need to analyze our consumer, to create a cluster, to understand their needs, their desire, their fears, and be able to intercept exactly at the right moment, in the right time, what they want, and be true to the value of the brand by expressing to them the stories that are behind a product. So it's not only a matter to sell a product, and of course, our final goal is to sell product, but it's more to get people close to the values of the brand and giving them a reason and an emotion to buy your clothes. I have to say that the communication and marketing probably faced the big changes in the last years. We passed through different kind of doing our activities, and also the attitude of the consumer changed a lot. So let's talk first about the communication, but I would say that marketing goes the same way. At the beginning of my career, it was all about traditional PR, communicate on the magazine, create a strong relationship with the press, doing amazing fashion show when the first row seats were dedicated to very important journalists, and also organizing events, not really a lot of in-store events, but more big events where you can involve celebrities and press, and not really a lot of final consumer. So it was most of all, let's say, the above the line communication. And when we say above the line communication, we mean doing advertising in a general way. So print advertising, the out of home, so the big billboards, going on TV. So it was that kind of communication. And that was the communication addressed not to a specific consumer, but to a general target. So you put a page on a magazine, you do a spot on a TV, and you hope that a large audience of people can get contact with your brand. And this was one part, so the above the line. Then we got the below the line. So the direct marketing communication, the PR, the CRM, the sponsorship. So when you do stuff like this, you were more focused into another specific, probably a more specific target, but still kind of generic. And then the digital revolution happened. And for all of us, it was really a big, big, big change. I love the component of innovation in all I do. So when the digital explode, and you are probably, all of you are native digital, but for me or Angelica, it was a pretty different. Exactly. We have to face another way of doing communication, another way to engage with people. And the step one was like creating an engagement with this new phenomenon, which was the influencer. Influencers are still playing a big role in helping a brand to communicate itself. But at the beginning, it was really self-serving the influencer. So you got a person, you put the clothes on it, you put your product and accessory, and you say, okay, please do the best you can do to promote this. That's it. So I have to say that at the beginning, it was really using them as a moving advertising for your company without expressing nothing else than the product itself. And this is what we can, we say at the beginning, the above the line communication, the below the line communication. And when the digital era starts and the social media starts and the influencer starts, we enter this into the through the line communication, meaning social media, online advertising, the banners, the Google ads, the programmatic, the influencer. And it was a gigantic switch in the communication.
When it happens, guys, sorry if I'm interrupting you, when it happens, this big change?
I will say for us as a company, I will say 10 years ago, and the explosion of the influencer is quite a new attitude. So really few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, yeah. And it was a completely different way to do communication, because especially when we talk about the programmatic campaign, so the opportunity to go exactly into a specific target, it was a new era. Because then you realize how important it is to segment your consumer and not to create a spot or a campaign that can work for everybody randomly, but more create a different kind of communication, different way to spread the news, different way to present your product, just because you need to talk to different kind of consumers.
Yeah.
And it was a completely new way to make this happen. As I told you before, I love the component of innovation, and I love the idea to work with people that can truly connect with your product. The influencer did it, but there was a but. So most of those people was really concentrated only on promoting themselves more than a brand. So they were just like getting, and some of them were paid a huge amount of money, and they just get a lot of money to promote your brand, and that's it, without telling a story, without making clear the values behind the product, behind the brand. But it was like only a certain moment. Then we start to see a new generation raising, which was interested not only in looking good and not only just interested in driving a conversation, but more an activist generation. So people, they want to do good things in the name of doing good, being good and not only looking good. And this was a completely new kind of influencer, a completely new way to engage with consumer and do the right thing, and not only say it, and especially not only for the camera. So we try as a brand to communicate our product by using those kind of influencers that have something to say, not only because they want to show off their face, not only because they want to have to be paid for that, but because they have a value that was totally linked with the value of the brand. And this is a great way, and I have to say the only way, to truly promote a product and to be reliable and to be true to your consumer. So
this one, guy, it's about, sorry, this strategy, it's about both Calvin and it's about PVH company. It's not all the, yeah, okay.
So we decided to switch the amount, to switch completely our budget by not only go into the normal activity. So let's say we cut a lot of our advertising media, we cut a lot of the traditional above the line way to communicate, and we switch completely our budget into digital, which for us means advertising, programmatic campaign, Google ads, and influencer and celebrity. But as I told you before, when we talk about influencer and celebrity, we want people that has values, that can express something which is far beyond a face. So it's connect with people that have something to say, and that when a final consumer see it, it immediately understand that it's not just an advertising, it's a new way to communicate your product via people that have something to say. And the same went into the marketing activities. We stopped completely, or I mean, we tried to reduce the big event focus only on press and celebrity and influencer. And we try to involve into our event also the final consumer, because it's a super crucial important step to involve in our community also the final consumer. Final consumer is part of the conversation when you do marketing communication. You cannot communicate anything without involving the person to whom you want to address your message, which is the final consumer. That's why when I start my conversation, I told you we are a kind of scientist, because we need to analyze data. We need to bring information thanks to software, thanks to the social media, thanks to the CRM. So anything that helps to put together as much information as we can to understand the consumer and the different kind of targets we are talking about. So the digitalization was everywhere. And absolutely it forced the way we do marketing and communication to switch from traditional way into new way. And this was, I would say, until 3 months ago. Then the pandemic happens, the COVID-19 break our lives and also bring a new reality in our way of living. It was a global, unprecedented challenge, especially for marketing and communication people, but for nation, economies, supply chains, workforces, relationship, sanity and spirit, all of us are being tested. But together with the crisis come also an opportunity for people who do marketing communication to better understand where the world is going. And so we start to look at the consumer and the drivers and the emerging trends coming after this big pandemic crisis. And we start to pick some important information that are crucial for us to drive new conversation and to position and do completely different way to communicate. Just few examples for you. Right now, people is turning into digital media to stay connected with the family and friends and to express themselves. And the tone that people is using on social and on web in general is more casual, more human. There's a different tone of voice that for a person who is working in marketing communication is a crucial signal to take in consideration, because everything is getting much more humanized right now. Web is becoming a more positive place to display solidarity, to display mutual support, and to be an open source with content available for free. Don't forget that in this moment, there are millions of courses online for free at disposal, millions of apps that helps you to go through the day, just getting your yoga session, your gym session, a reading for everybody. It's a new way for people that were not used to be online, to stay online all day long doing something. And also, another important point for people who is doing marketing communication, the fake news. Now that people are dependent on news to live in isolation, the pressure on media owners to ensure credibility and reliability is growing. You cannot say fake news anymore. You cannot spread something which is not true, because people is get more attention, is looking and is getting more used to use the web. So everything you put now online, especially if you are a brand, it has to be reliable. And the gigantic online platform like The Guardian, like the New York Times, where for them quality is much more important than quantity, those kind of platform has an exponential increase in number of subscriptions during this day, because they are filtering the news and be sure that everything goes online is 99% true, because people is really looking for no fake information anymore, no fake brands anymore, no fake entertainment anymore. For a person who is facing this time period, so all of us in this pandemic, we reevaluate our value system. We want to go back to basic. If for a brand, if for a people who is doing, for a person who's doing marketing communication, having a clear strategy, a clear view of the brand, of the values related to the brand is crucial, guys. It's crucial in your life. Is crucial for a brand to have a clear vision about your values. And you will see also when you start to get into a job, if you have a clear values inside of you, and you work for a brand who has a completely different scale of values, you can stay there for a short time period. But then you cannot work for something now even more, which is not matching with your values. That's why it's super important for a brand, not selling only product, not selling only stories, especially if they are fake, but communicate a true story and explain very clear the DNA and the value of the brand.
So it means that the product is not enough alone.
Product is not enough, Angelica. And now even more, I mean, let's be honest. If you want to buy a denim or a sweatshirt or a chino pants or a jacket, you can now go almost everywhere to buy. The reason why to decide to buy one brand or another is because this brand represents something for you, which is not the product itself, but is the story behind. It's like the emotion that is able to give it to you. And when you wear these clothes, you feel you are part of something bigger. You feel you are part of a bigger group. You feel you belong to something. That's correct. The core of a marketing and communication activity. You need to create this set of values, these stories, this, how can I say, true DNA of the brand, and express it and give your person a reason to be connected to you because you give an emotion. That's the only way. And that's why you want to buy Balenciaga, you want to buy Supreme. And that's why when you see a TV spot of Nike, and I don't know if you see the communication they did right during the COVID, you almost cry because you feel it's inside of you. There's a method who touch your heart. So That's our job. That's a marketing communication job. Not making people cry, but making people feel that they are part of something, that we are all human beings, especially in this time period. People is looking for meaningful and real connection. And we as a brand, we need to tell them, okay, we want to connect with you for you. We are here as a brand to tell you something that make you feel more comfortable. And we need to be transparent. Another trend that during this COVID is coming up in a very clear way is that people is not really looking anymore into the big logo, but more into the minimalism. A timeless pieces versus the trendiness pieces. That's another example, a very important example. And I think Mahima Ramesh, sorry if I not say your name correctly, put exactly a right point at this moment. We as a brand, especially with Calvin, totally right. In the past, one of our main challenge was I in my Calvins, and a big logo and a gigantic way to express. We are also switching into another way to, Mahima, I spell it right, thank you. We are entering into a new era where probably the logo is not important anymore, or is not so important, where people maybe is not looking for a gigantic recognition on their t-shirt, but more what this brand is saying, the message that is developing, the clear message that is developing. So the time for this elitarism, the time of this show off probably is decreasing, because COVID, we like it or not, tell us, hey guys, we are all on the same page, we are all on the same boat, we need to stay close together, and the message now is togetherness. Brands need really to spread the fact that we have to protect people, employees. If you look online and do a research of the most important brands right now, are the one who communicate since the day one of the pandemic, first we want to protect our employees. Those brands are ranking at the top level because they show they care about people. So again, back to values. I care as a brand. I care about my employees. I care about my consumer. I want to give you something more. I want to show you that you can do a mindful shopping, that probably there are some category that now has more sense for people and not maybe the super even in dresses, but more into the home leisure clothes, the casual living, the new essential, and not to forget about everything related to the reduce waste, the regenerate, the circular economy, the fact that you take care about the planet. So those are all super crucial points that in this particular time period raise up even more.
And guys,
yeah,
will last long, or after the pandemic, when the pandemic will finish, something will change and we go back again?
I think, to be honest with you, that some of those trends were already in the air before the pandemic. Pandemic just speed up everything. It speed up everything in any aspect. I mean, I have a sister and my families, we were not able to use WebEx or Zoom at all.
Yeah.
And they learned in a week because it was the only way to connect and talk each other. So very fast. So there were already trends like the sustainability, the reduced waste, the regeneration of the clothes, that was already there. And probably also the not such this show off anymore was already in the air. So the COVID just speed up the process. I think a lot of those stuff, And to be honest with you, I also hope that a lot of those new messages will stay because they connect more with the real human being. They give the opportunity to a brand to express different things, to do better, to take care more about the planet. Not to forget, guys, this fashion industry after petrol is the second most, how can I say, the industry that make pollution more. So it's really a dangerous one. So we need to take care about it. Sorry, it's also an important message to communicate, an important way to connect with your consumer. And not only the old generation, but especially the young generation. Because if you remember at the beginning, I told you, there's a new generation of people and of influencers that they don't want to look good, they want to do good. They are really activists. They want to spread messages that is something more than just showing a good looking face. So those are the kind of messages that will stay for a very long time, not going to change fast. Brands learn that they are a platform, a creative platform to support the new generation, creative minds, people that want to express something, new messages, and we are also, as a brand, rethink what influencers has to do. Because the reality is that during this pandemic, you truly and clearly understand that those kind of influencer that has nothing to say, meaning a true message, they are going to disappear. Only the influencer that have a deep, strong message can remain. And those are the ones that brands would love to involve from now on even more, because they have something to say except of showing off their face. So this is very, very important to rethink the influential marketing and go from glossy people to real, personal, meaningful, genuine content. Because what we need to create now as a communication and marketing person is create community, is engaging with people, create community, able to spread messages, clear, meaningful contents that then can help people to buy your clothes. But it's a second tier. First tier is spread very, very simple, tangible, clear messages to the final consumer.
I think, Guy, this is a very important message, especially because a lot of young people, they want to be an influencer in the future, but maybe they think that it's enough just to be beautiful or to have an eye dress and a number of followers to become someone. But that's absolutely not what now you are saying. But you have to work on yourself, you have to study, you have to meet people, you have to create value around you. So that's a very important message. So beautiness is not enough.
It's not enough. Having a huge amount of followers is not enough, because it's 100% clear that you, first of all, can buy influencer. Secondly, all the brands, I don't know if all the brands, but we have super important technology that can track every single influencer and have a clear picture about if they buy follower, they don't buy, if they have a fake follower or not, if they do too many things with too many brands, and so they are just like advertising in movement, or if they have contents that they develop. So the brands has the power today to buy technology, to have software that can clearly give you a picture of every single influencer. And this is what we do before any kind of activity we set in place. We go into this technology, check it out, we target the influencer, we find the right people for the right project, and then we move on. As I told you before, guys, we are scientists. Marketing communication today, it's a science, more today than before, because you have so many technologies, so many instruments, so many capabilities to do the job properly, to have a clear picture before moving on, that there's no way to do bigger mistake. Today you have the opportunity, which was unbelievable in the past. Imagine with the programmatic advertising, you can buy target. So I'm not even put a banner online and hope that somebody can see it. I pay specific target of people to see it, and I pay per click, meaning that if they go on it and see it, I pay, otherwise my budget stay there. So it's a revolution, revolution. And it's amazing everything you can do on the digital and social media advertising. It's amazing. So if I have like some advices to give today to people who want to do this job in the future, first of all, you have the power to change the fashion world. Now more than ever, there's like the perfect momentum in history to change things, because we prove that first of all, something can happen not under our control, like the COVID, that suddenly changed completely our lives, and it proved that we can readjust the way we do things and continue to move on. So you are the generation that have the power to change the fashion world, to invent together. But first step, guys, find your values. Close your eyes tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want, if you didn't do it, and ask yourself, which are my values, and stay true to them. Find the job, find the company, find the brand that is very close to your set of values. Because if it's not like this, this is not your dream job, and you will change very soon. Second point, super important, guys, partnership. If you think you can reach the big goal by yourself only, super big mistake. Have a courage to partner with other people. A cool and strong network can make miracles. A single person can do just a step. And I always encourage my team. I have almost 30 people now in my team, including VM and marketing and everybody. And I say, all of you has the power to say, all of you has the power to express their point of view. All of you can give an opinion. Put yourself in front line and say what you have in mind. Any idea from everybody is more than welcome, because we need to partner, because if we partner, we are stronger together. Then give people something to believe. If you want to build your brand or to work for another brand, give people something to believe. It's fine to do good product. It's okay to go even on better product. But most important is to give people experience. Whatever you want to create, be sure that thanks to your job, you can give an emotion to person. Because if they just put a like on your page or on your product, this is rational. But if they put a love, if they love you, this is emotional. So they are linked with you forever and ever. And this is what very important brand like Nike, just to give an example, are doing, or Calvin or Tommy, that are expressing a way to belong to something, have the power to change, go to data. Don't see data as, oh my God, I'm getting bored because this is more mathematic than fashion and creativity. It's not. Data are creative. It's the only way you have to better understand the world outside and send the right message to the right people at the right time. Data can give you access to the world. So you need to stay curious. Big data are important, but then try also to analyze the emotion and the small data, whatever comes to you as a reason. No matter how insignificant it may first appear, but everything tells a story. That's the truth. Everything tells a story. And marketing communication people can pick from this and create bigger and create emotion around it and sell something which is even more important than a single pair of denim. Angelica?
This is, guys, it's very important because what we are trying to do during this talk is also to explain to the students exactly what it means to be a marketing and communication manager, commercial director, to understand exactly what it means, that sometimes is different than what they think. Because if you think about marketing and communication, you probably think about events, celebrities, catwalk show, glossy night. You don't think you have to analyze data, but you have to analyze data. So you have to know.
You have to. You have to, because your job, first of all, is to understand consumer. And the only way you have to understand consumer is analyzing. Otherwise, the risk is that you create an amazing dress, but you don't know for who. So who's going to buy it? Did I set in place personas before creating my clothes, my line, or working for a brand? Did I understand exactly to whom I want to talk with, or is just throwing a coin out of the window? That's very, very important. And yeah, business is an infinite game. You can find, you can play, you can do whatever you want, but you have to stay focused and to stay curious. Because if you're not look around and you don't analyze this data, and by analyzing data, it means staying curious, you're not getting anywhere. Then you have to listen to everybody. Of course, your boss, but also the people behind you, because everybody has something to say. And be kind with people. That is also very, very important, guys. The fashion system, as it was in the past, with the very snobbish people going around and don't looking to the intern because they were intern, they are old story, old scenario. Be kind. That's the new black. Be kind. Very important, because if you create a strong team with people that can easily express what they have in mind, they perform triple. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Don't feel the pressure to become a manager. Don't feel the pressure to be director in a year. I told you when I met some of you in Milan that sometimes I got CV when I see people with 1 year experience and they are already manager, and I say, how can it happen? You need to learn. Don't be scared about learning. I mean, you have to start from an intern and go step by step, and then becoming a vice president, a president, whatever you want to be. But you have to pass through all the steps. Because if you feel the pressure to become immediately a manager without a solid ground, then forget about your role. Somebody will come and suddenly will throw you out of your chair. You have to learn, you have to fail, because if you don't fail, you don't do. You have to test and take the risk to fail. It is important as doing. Fail, get bored, restart, change, try to completely change or stay probably depressed for a certain amount of time and then restart again. And most important, enjoy what you do. Enjoy your journey. Now we are in the process of learning, you're still students, enjoy it. Then you will take time to enter into a company and learn and probably do your own business or become the next super important designer. But take a time and then enjoy every single step of your life. Don't be in a hurry. It doesn't make any sense being in a hurry.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. And
you want to see some question, or what do you think, Guy?
Would love to.
Because there's some, I think, very interesting.
I think I can also open the chat. Let me see. Nisna, what are good resources to find this kind of data to analyze? I mean, there are free tools online. You can start with Google Trends, for example, which is free accessible to everybody. Then, of course, if you have your e-com, you can go into your analytics. But then also on Facebook, there are some free analysis that you can access to. There's a lot free online. I can send you via Angelica some link for you if you want, where you can start to get some information. Of course, there are also many other tools, especially when we're talking about the influencer that we need to pay to get access to those tools, but they are very, very interesting. Whatever you Google online and say like digital analysis, free analysis, you will find already a lot of stuff there. There's a lot online, especially now during this time period. There are some courses also to read the analysis for free. And there's one online platform that I really enjoy, which is called courseera.com. I can write it for you. To everybody. Which is a cool one. But there are millions where you can go in and just test yourself and try to understand. But I really encourage you in these days, a lot of platform put some courses for free, some analysis for free, and it's just the beginning and a way to, yeah. Prayal, he say, hi, I want to know ways through which one can begin their first step of communication as a brand. I mean, if I'm like starting a brand today and want to set in place a communication strategy, first question that you have to ask yourself is, who is the person I have in mind as my consumer? So create what the marketing says, the personas. Personas means, and also in that case, if you go online and look for it, there are also tools that help you to create these personas. And it helps you to really create a person, which is a fake one, but just help you to enlarge your imagination and create this kind of avatar of the person that you want to be your ideal consumer. And you put down how old he or she, the hobbies, the digital tools that he uses, the kind of music that he listens. And when you create this avatar, this person, you start to understand the way you should use to communicate with that kind of person, which is very important. Because if you want to target only, let's say, old, rich ladies from 40 years old on, which is not really old because I belong to that target, but that kind of person, maybe they are not on TikTok. So you are not going to play your strategy there, but they are more on Facebook because older target is very into fashion, little bit into Instagram, not at all into TikTok, for example. So if you create your consumer, ideal consumer, then around him or her, you create a strategy. But first of all, clear image of your personas. That's first important step. Do I have to study fashion to be in the fashion industry? Not at all. I can prove to you. I was a lawyer.
But they have to do the FAD masterclass with
course,
people like us.
Let me finish.
Yeah, sure.
You can start wherever you want, any kind of university, etc. But then it's super important to do courses that are much more fast, much more flexible, much more like right in time and adjustable considering the time period. And those kind of courses and those kind of fashion school, for example, give you all the tricks and all the most important insights, especially because they don't just do like a reading and book, etc., but they make you in contact with people that is already working in the industry, so they can give you much more insights from the other side of the industry itself. Oh my God. Any other question? But you cannot switch off you prefer not to put your microphone on and go directly. Influencer marketing is reducing day by day, say Mantan. Sorry for if my pronunciation is wrong. People are realizing that it's a very biased opinion and suggestion. What do you think is going to be the next thing that will replace most of influencer marketing? To be honest with you, I think we need to start to hire our consumer. I think consumer is the next influencer. If you create a community of true people that is already linked with your brand, that is already buying into your brand, that is already have an heart beat faster for your brand, that's the next step. I totally agree with you, Mantan. People is not anymore into the big fake celebrity that today is wearing Tommy, tomorrow is wearing Nike, tonight is wearing another brand just because they want to get money. It's more like true people, involve true people. And what are the best influencer than already your consumer or your employee? I'm launching now a program which is new and crazy, but I love to do crazy things. So I don't care if they stop me at the beginning, I keep on going. And it's this new program, it's a kind of, how can I say, it's not really a competition, but we want to create influencer among our employees. So we create a specific program for our employees to teach them how they can spread the news about the clothes they are wearing, the brands they are working for, in a way that is very true to them. So not posing, not faking news, not, oh my God, I work for Tommy, is the best one, which is like totally fake, but just the point of view of an employee to promote the brand which is working for. And I think it's a super important way, first of all, to engage your employee, to create a program which can help to spread the news about the brand, but in a true way. So hire your employee, hire your consumer to make them feel part of something, to make them talk about the brand and be honest. What kind of ability you guys see in the candidate if I want to do an internship at Calvin? Farin. To be honest with you, I like to hire sometimes people that have no experience and that they come to learn, and then they come because they want to give a fresh point of view. I really believe that involving young generation into company, it truly make a big difference. So be yourself. The candidate, the ideal candidate is somebody that is not lying about his inexpertise, because if you go out from school, you cannot be an expert. You just go out from school. So you have to learn, you want to learn. So be kind, be who you are. I mean, have
it's
a positive
even better,
attitude.
no, Guy? It's even better than
it's
people
even better.
And then say, I'm a manager, as you rightly say, manager of what? You have 20 years. So I prefer, me too, to have people very honest that say, I love this, I want to learn, I'm here for
I want to learn, I'm here for this. And what made me get in love with people is then when I see people with enthusiasm, and you see in the eyes, you get people coming to an interview and they stay all the time, and you say, oh my God, where is the enthusiasm? Where is like the love for life, for work and for people? And they like feel asleep. And so if you come in with energy, and if you come in with...
Rashi, sorry, mute. Rashi, mute, please.
Rashi, mute or do a question. It's your time.
Yeah, correct. You can ask question, guys, because
whatever you want.
Gaetana is here for you.
I tell you another thing which I think is very important for you, talking about the digitalization, because it's like the key of our job right now. And maybe it's an information important for you as well. We start to digitalize also our showroom. So in the past, when you enter into a showroom during the sales campaign, you see millions of clothes hanging on the all around the wall. Now they are disappearing. So we want to sell via digital screen. And the people who was in Milan a few months ago, they saw this gigantic screen, and we are putting even more. So the way today we are selling clothes, it's via a gigantic iPad and a kind of digital theater that we put in our showroom, and a client go in and start to select the clothes and create a mix and match on a gigantic touchable screen. And it's an incredible way to sell. And we started to do it way before the COVID the COVID came to our lives, and it was already in the air, this change. And now even more, it's super important to do this step into digitalization. Everything will be digitalized. So the more you get into it, the more you start to learn about digital marketing, social media, digital media, whatever you want to call it, the fastest you're going to get a job.
And this is also an opportunity to work in digital that it was not so big before. And also for the companies that are not ready like you are, that could be a problem. at the moment, and there's not a lot of companies that has so much technology like you, because you are an American brand.
We invest a lot in technology, and I think it's the best way to invest your money in technology and in bringing people that has the competencies. And we started before, we are moving faster into that direction. And after this pandemic, it will be even more. So Ganesh, can a person be both, super important name, can a person be both a fashion designer and in a marketing sector? Moreover, if I want to start a brand, I think so. To be honest with you, I mean, it depends how big you become and I mean, you cannot do everything.
No.
You need to be specialized into something. Otherwise, your mind is distracted into too many things. I think it's super important to identify what your dream is and go straight for it. Then after that, you can start to add people that can support you in your business. For sure, at the beginning, you have to do a lot of things by yourself, but then surround you by experts, because experts can really make the difference. And I can tell you, because sometimes my people in specific part of their job, they know much more than me, and it's totally fine, because my role is not know everything in every single small sector. It's like collect the message into the big picture, but not knows everything. So very important. For sure, in a world that is becoming super omni-channel, in a world where you as a brand has to be sure that your consumer has the same experience in all the touch points, you need to be informed about everything. You need to know what's going to happen in your e-commerce, in your physical store, and connect the two, because the final consumer need to feel the same atmosphere, the same engagement, if he buys in your e-com or if he goes into your physical store. But you, as the owner or as the designer, you don't need to know everything of everything. You just need to stay focused on what you love most and find the right people around you that can bring you even happier. Farin. Oh, sorry, maybe I forgot talking about communication and PR disasters. Piyush, how would you handle the 207 Ofra Tommy controversy? Let me tell you one thing, Piyush, which is super important. The news you're referring to, for the people maybe who's not informed about, is a news that came out years ago, saying that Tommy was like against Black people and don't want to design dress for Black people. It was fake news. It was something invented, put online, and it created a disaster, as you rightly say. But it was a fake news. Tommy himself got bankruptcy almost for this fake news.
Really?
Really. He involved a lot of people like digital nerds and everybody in the industry to get understand who started to spread this fake news, because he was devastated about that. Because Tommy was famous for dressing the pop culture. And in that time period, in especially New York City or America in general, Tommy was the brand of the Black people, hip-hop and pop culture in general. So for him, it was a way to destroy his business. And at the beginning of this conversation, I told you, that after this pandemic, the fake news become even a more important topic, because a fake news can destroy a business. And luckily, Tommy were able to face it, to put his face, to try to make it clear. And he went to the OFRA also to try to explain. There are still people thinking it was true, but it was not. It was a fake news. And fake news is bombarding us every single day. That's why it's important to filter, to get, to go around and search for true information, to go into real channels that truly want to spread clear news and not fake news just to create a little disaster here and there. This is super important, and I thank you, Piyush, for raising up this situation, because this is a clear example. And thanks God, Tommy at that time, he was already a company with a big shoulder, so a capability to survive, to get a new era in Europe and not only in the US. Because if it happens to you guys when you started your job and you maybe have just like bad people that want to not for you to have a success, they can destroy a brand. Fake news can destroy a brand.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why now more than ever is super, super important to be clear and to be honest with your consumer and to tell what it is.
And also have credibility.
Thank you so much for answering that. I'm glad you answered.
Thanks to you for doing this. It's always, I love hard questions because I think it raises up big problems. And in that case, it happens to Tommy, but it happens to a lot of other brands. And sometimes the news was true, some other was a fake. But the final consumer, if he doesn't want to spend time online to search for the truth, is just accept what it is. That's why the importance of a person who wants to work in communication is the importance of a true news, a true messages, and honest messages. So, yeah. Whew. It was a tough moment for the brand.
You are now the same feeling, but you was there?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't, but when we involved Zendaya to design the collection together with us, this news came out again, because it started to say, oh, but why Tommy is involving a black girl to design something? Tommy, who in 2007 say that black people is the worst people in the world, etc. And oh God, and it started again. So we have to re-explain. And I say, guys, we don't have to cover this. Let's talk openly. Because the more you talk with the people and you are clear on your message, the better it is. If you try to cover news, it seems that it's true.
You are hidden, yeah.
Open up, don't hidden. Open up, be honest. Sorry. Oh my God. There was one interesting about the sustainability, Farin. Yeah. Is this necessary for a new brand to be sustainable, like the producing embroidery goes, so they should stick to it, or they can produce other things as well? I think sustainability is a very trend topic right now, but we need to be very, very, very careful, because the risk is that you talk a lot about sustainability, but you are not. And also in that case, we as a brand, as a PVH, we are waiting to sending out all the news referring to our sustainable products. We are doing step after step because we are not 100% sustainable. we introduce a program for denim to be 100% sustainable, to recycle, to reuse some elements, especially the metallic buttons and stuff like this, but we are doing step after step. We cannot make it like this, and when we go out with this message, I think it has to be true. Saying that, sustainability is important for the planet. I think it's not important as a trend topic or as a communication message. It's important because of human beings, because we live in a planet that has huge problems in terms of pollution. And I think as a people working in fashion, we have a responsibility in this respect, because as I told you before, we are the worst in the list together with the petrol companies. So we have a responsibility, and it's super, super important to be kind with our planets and to develop clothes that can be reusable, that cannot disappear in a second, that are made with organic cotton, that are made taking in consideration the planet, but not because it's a trend to talk about it, but because you truly believe on it.
Yeah.
So not necessary, but necessary for the human beings. So super necessary at the end of the day.
Benazir, she was my student too in Dubai. Hi, Benazir. You see her last question.
Hi,
Ciao, ciao. Nice to see you here with us. Very good, very good.
Very good, thank you.
So good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you as well.
Did you see her question, Guy?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, Benazir. Will this empower the e-commerce and online shopping? Now people have no option but to buy online. Psychology and consumer mentality will play a big part in shaping the fashion industry in the future. Will consumer engage in revenge buy, something we are already starting to see in China market? Is this going to disrupt the overall shopping experience for consumer in coming times? Okay, so a lot of interesting topics, very interesting questions. All of you are interesting questions, by the way. So revenge buying. Yeah, we start seeing in China. I have to say that Tommy and Calvi start to reopen in some countries like Germany, Scandics, stuff like this. We start to see a lot of people coming in, but not really this revenge buying. Probably the revenge buying something more related into the super luxury segment. And I remember Hermes, first day of reopening, they sold incredible amount of super luxury limited products, very, very expensive. I think, I don't know if it's like a revenge buy, but I'm talking about Italy. I'm in lockdown and it's my 67th day inside my apartment. So I cannot wait to go out and buy something. I don't know if it's revenge buying.
Yeah,
but
the same for me.
I want to talk with the store manager. I want to go into a store and smell this amazing atmosphere and something like this. Probably I'm a fashion addict. I don't know if I'm gonna buy spend huge amount of money, but for sure I will buy something. And I will continue to buy online. That's, I think, the most important element of this post-COVID. Italian people were not really an e-commerce driven community. We did not buy a lot on e-commerce because we like to touch the product, we like to talk with people. We are a lot of hands, moving our hands a lot, as you can see myself also. Yeah, I think we get used to buy online and we enjoy it. It's a matter of enjoy. We enjoy. every time I receive a package in my apartment, it's like a Christmas day. It's like my birthday party. And you unbox it and you start to take a picture of your unbox. So it's a way to have a funny times. I think probably I will personally do, but a lot of other people will do half and half, but we will continue to use both channels because we get used to the online and we realize that it's easy, fast, and we can enjoy it. So yeah, now people is into online only. I think you will do so and so. I also think that the role of a physical store will change. Probably the role of a physical store won't be only selling products, but more give you different kind of experiences. Example, an opportunity for you to customize your product, an opportunity for you to buy something different from what you can find online, an opportunity for you to have, I don't know, a DJ session or a possibility to record your music because inside the stores, there's also, I don't know, a DJ set where you can experiment. Whatever it is, probably the stores need to give, to play a different role, to give something extra than just see a buying clothes. Benazir, I don't know if I replied to everything.
Hey Gaetana, thank you so much. I completely agree with your thoughts and also thank you for acknowledging it.
Thanks to you. Then Simran, as the economy is down, people are believing in vocal the local. So if someone is launching their brand, should we look at focusing on that right now or look at the global picture? Due to COVID-19, will obviously take time and patience, but how to go about it is the question. Should the brand focus on the consumer according to the economy or the e-commerce globally, or be true to the consumer I'm focusing at? I don't know, Simran, if I got completely your question. When you say vocal the local, you mean giving opportunity to smaller communities, smaller brands. So like something like this, is that I'm right on it? Okay, yes, that is right. Yes, I think it's important. I think we will continue to buy into the established brand, the brand that I love, that we love. The difference here is the established brand, if they seed not only product, but a way to engage people, the way to give experiences, the way to connect, not because they just sell a product, but they give you an emotion, we will continue to buy into it. I don't trust in people who say, oh no, now I'm buying only into this local shop around the corner and I'm not buying into, I don't know, Off-White anymore. Bullshit, sorry. You're gonna buy into the big brand, the Dior, the Vuitton, the Gucci, the whatever it is, because you're still loving it. And probably what is getting better and what I really appreciate is the fact that you also realize that there are small companies and small brands that are doing great job, and this pandemic gives visibility to that kind of small activities, which is amazing. And I think we'll continue to give an eye to those small upcoming brands because we love the idea to support the communities and to create community. And this is a very big, important trend to surf on. On the other side, the big brand will remain and probably they will become more, they will be humanized somehow. Only the brand that can create a true connection with the human beings will survive. The brand that just show off their elitarism, I'm not sure is the right way to present a brand at today's moment. Somebody creating something, even if it's small, and focus on a small business, I think people will get a strong eye on it and will love it, and they also continue to buy into the important brands that they have a connection with. Sorry, could you please answer the question by Priyal? I have the same question. Oh, Priyal, sorry, need to come back to Priyal. I forgot. Priyal, okay. How to stay 100% updated about the happenings in the fashion communication industry? Can you suggest website? I have a lot of, Business of Fashion is giving an important insights every morning. And if you connect with them, they give you important insights. Then I have also some probably small niche website. I can send you a list if you want. I can send to Angelica, and then Angelica can share with you.
Yeah, share with Manoj, and Manoj share with all of them.
From the high snobiety to smaller, more like Italian small website that are giving a lot of insights. I go here and there. I'm a very curious person. So sometimes I'm just like searching on internet and then jump from one link to another. And then I arrive into a news which is super interesting and I couldn't get there without searching and searching and searching. So, yeah. But everywhere you can find like news and inspiration. Also talking.
You just have to be curious, guys. If you are, you find what you want. There is not a specific, I think.
Yeah, there is nothing specific source. I think right now there's a lot there, and it's more like. And then, guys, beside the website, Instagram is the new magazine. So yeah, if you go into your favorite brands or one person that you admire, and you look at the people or at the brand that person is following, probably you enter into something interesting for you as well, and then you jump into another one, and you create and you collect and you create your special database of information. Because to be honest with you, if I want to have like a news on trend, news market, I jump into the social media, Instagram most of all.
Me too.
It's my new, because the communication world changed. I mean, today, if you want to launch a press release and communicate something, you don't need to have a gigantic list of editors. You just Twitter. The most important. Twitter is your new, how can I say, press release. Instagram is your new magazine.
But what's happened to the traditional communication on the glossy magazine? They are suffering a lot.
I mean, some magazines which have like core values and they are strong, in my opinion, they will survive. You will probably go there when you want to have like multi-pages story and you have something serious to tell. But people is fast, like the attention of people is few seconds. So I prefer to have all the news on Instagram where I can spend 1 second and search for millions of profiles instead of reading multi-pages. We'll continue to look at it because it's interesting. I love the glossy side of fashion. I still like it. But that's not the only way.
But for example, the budget that you dedicate to this kind of communication is now
zero.
So it's
my
just
budget goes media budget 80% it's social, so Google ads, Facebook ads, social media. And 20% I'm still working on the out of home when I have a big event or something big, I love to be on the city with a billboard or with digital CLP or that kind of communication tools. And not to forget, guys, that one super important way to communicate is the windows of the store.
Exactly. Because it's important that they also know that you, as marketing and communication director, you have a budget, so you have money to spend to communicate, and there are different channels. So I can think that now you have the budget that you need is higher or lower than before, because I remember for my small experience in this department that especially the glossy market, the glossy magazine, Vogue, Harper Bazaar, they are very expensive just to have one page. It's extremely expensive, but now because of Instagram,
they're struggling, Angelica. The reality is now they are struggling. You pay one, you get one for free, so they are really struggling. So only the qualitative magazine will survive, but compared to the past, we did not decrease the amount of money that we spend, but we move from the traditional tools into the digital ones. And because if you want to do stronger campaign, if you want to do stronger campaign if you want to do strong campaign on digital, you need to invest. It's not for free. I mean, the theory that everything that goes digital costs nothing, it's a wrong idea.
Not true.
Yeah, it's not true. It's not true.
Okay.
Cool.
So, Gae, we would love to stay with you hours and hours, I think.
Yeah.
I can see the number of the students is still very high after 1 hour and a half.
Listening to me.
You know, that
just like
it's probably
stay
on
have
board.
enthusiasm. Have enthusiasm. Go for it. Fight for your dream job.
Because you can see Gaetana, she's a big manager and she's very enthusiastic about everything. And we are now working with Shivang to create some courses with her, because she really about marketing and communication. She's one of the best, and so yeah, I can see a lot of very good comments for the students, and that's what we want. We know that it's not easy to stay 2 hours and just listening to us talking and talking, but I think
if we will have the opportunity to work, to do something more together, we can go deeply into different segments like the digital marketing.
Exactly, that's what we are going to do.
And I promise I will make it as much enjoyable as possible, not boring at all.
But you are not bored. And also, when everything will finish, because everything will finish, I already spoke with Shiva. Probably we come to India, me and Gaetana, for some courses or for some other occasion.
Be ready, because you need to bring me everywhere when I'm there. I'm a curious person, so I'm open to go wherever you suggest.
So, Guy, thank you so much, Guy. I will go ahead, guys, if you have time to stay another 30-40 minutes just to finish about the topics of luxury. And so please say hi to Gaetana all together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ciao, Guy.
Really enjoyed to stay with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gaetana.
So guys, I took a little bit of time more for Gaetana, because I know that she reserved 2 hours for, and to be honest, she's very inspiring woman, but also very professional one. So what we are trying to do now is just to mix what you need to know about fashion and luxury with my speech, with the different description of role and position of people like her, that of course are professional, very, but also they have something to communicate. That's what I'm trying to do, thanks to FAD. Now, I don't know if you remember last time, I was just trying to give you some framework about luxury and what luxury is. So I share with you my PowerPoint of last time. And finally, I understand how to show you the video and so how you can also hear something. So last time I stopped about the description of luxury as a product. And also I explained to you how is multi-facing concept to talk about luxury and to decide if you want to work in fashion or you want to work for a luxury brand, or maybe you want to work for Zara. It's everything is okay, but you need to understand the different business logic to be ready, okay? So this is the video I was trying to show you last time, just to show you how many different answers I received from some students when I asked what luxury is. So because now I have it, I show it to you. And finger crossed, we can do it.
That luxury is the way of satisfying the need for comfort.
Luxury goes beyond basic necessity and is there to indulge our personal happiness and pleasure.
Luxury is an indulgence rather than a necessity.
For me, luxury is prestige.
Luxury is having personality and not being afraid to show it.
For me, luxury is something that is of high aesthetical value, but at the same time it's very limited. And that's why many people won't have it, but just very few can afford.
I think luxury is two things. First, it's about quality. And second, for me, luxury is also exclusive. So quality and exclusivity mixed. And yeah, we can argue whether all brands respect this, but for me, this is what luxury is.
I think that luxury is the comfort in our life. It's time saving, but money spending.
Luxury to me means excessive details.
Luxury to me, it's a delight.
Oh, sorry. But okay, you can see how many difference. But just last time, I hope we clarified a little bit which are the product that we can consider as luxury product. And also we understood some important points about luxury. Now, which is the know-how of luxury? What you have to absolutely find into a luxury product? What you have absolutely find, I don't remember if I told you already last time, is the human touch. And the human touch needs to be visible. But when we talk about luxury, and this is a topic of another talk with me, we talk about business model. What business model is? Business model is basically how a company is organized in order to do what they do. So how is organized Hermes? How is organized Valentino? How is organized any other brand? So it's basically fashion business models or business model. It means it needs to reply to 4 questions. Who? So who are my clients? What? What's my product? How I produce this product? And then the revenue model, how I make money. Maybe more volume, less profit, or big volume, or less volume, more profit, or vice versa. Or I don't do anything, I just give my name for licensing, like the one that Maggie explained you last time. And what is luxury has business model? What you need to find into luxury has business model. So let me tell you that Comite and Colbert is an important foundation based in Paris, that basically what they do is they, like in Italy, we have Alta Gamma, that is the foundation I explained you last time, is the foundation that identify which products we can consider as luxury products. Comité Colbert basically does the same, but in French. And for them, they started to study about fashion phenomenon, or at the beginning, people consider beginning, I mean the beginning of years 2000, people thought about luxury as a phenomenon, but luxury is not a phenomenon. Luxury at the end, it's a market segment. So you know that it's a market segment. So they started to analyze at the beginning of 2000, and they identify 4 very important elements that necessary we have to recognize into an industry to define that industry a luxury business model. The first one, the first element you can see is a strong branding related to an exclusive lifestyle. Okay, what it means? It means in very 2 words that there is no luxury if there is no brand. In luxury, you need the brand. So when there is, and this brand needs to talk to you, this brand needs to have something to tell to you. So the branding, the strong branding, what it means that if I think about a luxury brand that is Hermes, Chanel, and all the luxury brands, immediately I have the idea of a lifestyle. I think about Hermes, I think about a kind of location, a kind of customers, a kind of music, colors. I have an idea of lifestyle that is exclusive. For sure, the evocation of this lifestyle that this luxury brand gives to me is higher than my normal lifestyle. It needs to have an aspirational element. So the luxury brands needs to have this connection, the brand with the kind of lifestyle. And that's also the reason why we will see a lot of luxury brands are based in Italy or in Paris, because there is this exclusive lifestyle that is typical from this area of Europe. And the second element that is basically the big difference between fashion and luxury is that luxury product is timeless. The true and the real luxury brand, they always have, they need to have an iconic product that is contemporary and lasts for long. But Birkin is contemporary, yes. How many years Birkin bags has? I think something like 70, but it's contemporary. Even in high fashion, because sometimes you have the same price for luxury and high fashion. Imagine high fashion like Versace, for example, very expensive. And at the other side, the same price, but is luxury brand. Which is the difference? The difference is that one of the characteristics of luxury, of fashion, sorry, is to be fashionable. It means that before or later, if they are fashion now, they are not fashion after 6 years. What happened in luxury? They are not extremely fashion. It's not important to be fashion, especially for the iconic products. They don't want to be fashion. Maybe sometimes, as I told you last time, they have to see, and as Gaetana told you, they have to look around and say, okay, what is happening? Now everyone are going on digital, they have to go on digital. But that doesn't mean they cancel the iconic product and they change their identity. They are luxury, they cannot do it. And they don't want to do it because they know that what we as consumer wants is their heritage, is what we pay for. So timelessness, okay? Branding related to exclusive lifestyle that is superior to my level, for sure. My level has customer. And second element, this is very analytic. analysis and particular analysis made by Committed Convert is superior quality and timelessness. And the third element is pricing, is premium pricing, as you can see on this page. Of course, luxury is expensive, but it's not just, okay, I'm luxury, so I immediately write a high price. No, there is a reason why. The first reason is that, as I told you, luxury means high quality, the best quality, and a manufacturing that is superior. So in somehow, I know that I'm paying money for quality. So I cannot, and this is also the perception. If I see the price too low, my perception is, it's not so expensive. I don't know if it's very good. So it's important. But at the same time, that doesn't mean high price equals luxury. It's not like this. Because if I produce a bag by myself with the same high quality, the best leather, everything the same, and I put my name, as I told you last time, for you it's not luxury. It's just something very good in terms of quality, but it's not luxury. So I cannot just increase the price and tell you, okay, I put this $1 million and I hope you think this is luxury. You know, you need to have elements. This is mathematical formula: branding, quality, timelessness, premium price. Yes, it's an element. And one element that we absolutely cannot forget into the luxury business model is the aesthetic. Luxury needs to be beautiful. Luxury needs to have a stylish touch. Everyone are waiting for the styling touch of the luxury because it's the inspiration for all the others. So it's an aesthetic that is not normal. It's aesthetic that it's a little bit different. Somehow we can say extravagant or luxurious, as I told you last time. Let me see, there is something into the chat. I cannot find, okay, 1 second. Chat. What is the process took for a new brand to become luxury brand? This is a question that a lot of times students of my courses ask me. This is the answer. The answer is you need, first of all, to know which kind of product, quality, but you have to create your identity. But you can tell me, okay, Angie, I create my identity, but how I can be luxury and not be perceived like fashion? You need time. You need a lot of time to create your credibility, because unfortunately, me too, if I want to, I know a lot of time someone asks me, Angie, why you don't create a luxury brand? Because you are luxury specialist, you know luxury very well. Because of course I can plan my strategy, I can study my consumer, I can find the best Italian artisanal person to make my joyal bags. But unfortunately, I don't have heritage. I mean, I don't have a family that created a business 200 years ago. And so I need time to become a luxury brand. Because, for example, if I tell you Off-White, and we was talking with Gaetana before about Off-White, how you perceive Off-White? As luxury brand or like a fashion brand? If you want to reply, just have a look to a few of the questions. How do you perceive? You know Off-White, right? You can also unmute. Bravi!
Yes.
Correct. I'm happy. So, yeah, correct. Why? But why is fashion? The price is high. So because it's high, it's exclusive. The quality is probably the best quality you can have for sweater, probably. I don't know, but probably. But there is no heritage. There is no dream. And maybe there is a dream that is to be like the people that wear it, like the rapper that wear Off-White, but there is no timelessness. Maybe next year, in any case, this collection is not fashionable anymore. There is not an iconic product, not logo, be careful, because the logo, I know, the logo with the double, you probably know how it is. It's clear for everyone. The logo will be the same, but they don't have an iconic bag, an iconic shoes, an iconic. So maybe after, let's say 30 years, I hope we will be here together again, and we can see that, oh, okay, Off-White now created step by step their heritage to be considered a luxury brand. But high fashion brand, yes, you become a high fashion brand easily. For some people that are not expert, how in the same way you are now, because you are learning the difference between high fashion and luxury, maybe you will be perceived like a luxury brand, but you know that you are not. So if you want to be luxury, your collection needs to be not too much seasonal. Your product needs to have the human touch, craftsmanship, and you have, most of you that are in India, you have, and also in Cairo and Dubai, you always have a specific handability. It's depending which area you are, but you need time. You need a lot of time. You don't have to be too much trendy. You need to find a balance, and you need to have young enough to survive for the next 40 years and say, no, more, you are around 20, so even 80 years, and say that you created a luxury brand. But someone say that iconic products, or when we call as luxury brand, they have iconic product is not iconic that lasts for long. Iconic, like typical product that you can recognize. I'm replying to Harlem, no, to Simran. Yes, they have the sweater. It's iconic categories, but it's not an iconic product that is the same since the beginning right now and will be the same forever, and they don't create anything new. Sweater, we have it. When I was young, very young, because I'm young, but when I was very young, in the 80s here, I had sweater is Off-White now. Off-White is a new trend that was trend already 20 years ago. I hope you understand me. They didn't create anything. They just created a trend, not a product. Their Birkin, before then Hermes created, didn't exist. But Supreme, is it clear, Simran? Of course, if I tell you about Versace, you probably tell me they have an iconic product. But when I say iconic product, it means they made something that didn't exist before at all. It was the innovation. The innovation of White, there is no innovation. There is just a trend that is now trend again. And if you remember my first lesson, I don't know if, yes, exactly, Birkin bag is an example. I don't know if you attended the first one. If I say trend, automatically I'm not talking about luxury, because trend, the life cycle is 6 months, sometimes even shorter. because we have cruise collection, because, you know, for the fashion brand, they have minimum 2, but maximum 6 collection every year. Spring, summer, fall, winter, pre-fall, winter, pre-spring, summer, cruise collection for spring, summer, fall, winter. And they also can have capsule, flash capsule. That means sometimes if the jacket arrived, and that's, I don't know if you read about Armani interview, what's happened is that sometimes the jacket arrive into the store, and after 3 weeks, it's already old. It's old because new collection arrived and another collection arrived again. Why? Because we want to change ourselves too much. And Zara teaches to luxury brand and fashion brand what the client wants. So it's a challenge for luxury brand to keep their iconic products, but also to follow what's happened outside. How do you find out what the iconic products are of particular brand? Do you mean, Arlem, that how identify the iconic product of a brand, or if I want to? Yeah, okay. I think it's easy for you because if I tell you Burberry's, for example, which is the iconic product.
Can you repeat the brand again?
The Burberry. Do you know Burberry?
No, not really.
Burberry, okay, let's say.
Trench coat. Oh, Burberry. Oh, yes.
You know it, you know, I'm sure you know it. It's the trench.
Yes,
it's the trench. So I don't have to identify. Needs to be natural. If the brand worked in the right way, the iconic product is clear to everyone. If there is not an iconic product that come on your mind as soon as you think about the brand, it means they don't have, or they are not luxury. Because iconic product is something that did a change into the market. So it's not a trend, it's not the mood of the total collection, no, it's one object only. And if you think, and here we go back to the human craftsmanship, if this brand, if this product became the iconic product, is because this brand did it in the perfect and best way ever that no one did before. So they became famous for that product, and on that product, then they created their brand name and their heritage, and now they are Hermes. As I told you last time, Hermes was born for a settled brand. So they did in Rue Saint-Honoré in Paris, a small boutique of 30 square meter, just to make accessories in leather for the horses. That's all. But they did in the best way ever. They had the best relation with the high-end society people that own horses. And then they understood, okay, we are good to do this. People come. And so they start to propose a little bit something more. But the iconic product right now is very strong linked with their original hand ability, hand capacity. Remember one thing, that the luxury brand, the family behind the luxury brand, is difficult that are wealthy and royal family. A family that worked a lot for some product, but they worked a lot. They were simple people. Also, iconic product helps you to create the brand exactly in all minds of consumers. The trench, and I would love also to give you other example, but I hope that this is clear for you. If I tell you probably, even in jewelry, if I tell you a Cartier, okay, maybe now you think about the new bracelet, and okay, but if you think about a Cartier, you probably think about the emerald and the panther, the ring with the panther. So because it was represented their hand ability to create, and they became famous because one Indian family that decided to order the collier with the emerald to Cartier in Paris because it was very good, the best one to provide emerald. So you need to have a specific capacity. You need to be able to do one thing at the beginning, but one thing very well. You need to do it very, very well. Okay, so pricing I told you, and aesthetic I told you. So just to sum it up, 4 elements. Luxury has business model, so it's an industry that make money. 4 elements that are recognized by Commit and Colbert. The first one, strong branding related to exclusive lifestyle. The second one is timelessness. The third one is high price. And the fourth one is an aesthetic element. And this is done. Now, we go ahead, if it's okay, for 10 minutes, or you have to go, guys?
Can continue.
Okay, because I don't want to bother you, but okay, this one we saw has business. Has business. Okay, this is very interesting. Wait, let me see. There are some other chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, so if it's true that luxury, when we talk about luxury, we talk about an aura, dream, vision, creative mind, that means that luxury has a lot to do with culture. It's automatically. We cannot think about all these things without a culture. Which culture? The culture of the brand, the culture of the founder, the culture, and this is the main important point, of the geographical area from which the brand comes from. The way we are, the way we think, the way we eat, the way we dress, it comes from our culture. Now, because of all the social, everything, we are more similar, but we have our roots and we need to have our roots. It's for me, it is absolutely important. I respect and I want to learn a lot about the culture of all the other world, but I have my personal roots that make me as I am. So why luxury culture is very linked with Europe more than the rest of the world? If you think about luxury brands, most of them you identify in Europe, especially France and Italy, Spain, so and so, rest of the Europe, so and so, but French and Italy, yeah. Why? The reason, the answer, it's in our culture, because Europe has been driven since long time ago from values that even now represent beauty, quality, like the princess, the duke, the kings. They loved to create beautiful objects, first of all, to confirm who they were, but also to share like a gift to the people of their city, of their villages. And that's why now we, thanks God, we have this legacy. So we are surrounded by beautiness. For us, it's normal when we walk into the street to see beautiful garden, because before of us, generation and the generation before, it was a value. It was connected to the kind of lifestyle, the typical Parisian garden, or if you go to Rome. I'm Italian, but me too. When I'm not from Rome, but when I go to Rome, I can see that, wow, there is beautiness all around. So it's something that is connected to the way we are, but also to what's happened before than us. It's not because we are better than other countries to make luxury brands. It's because it happened 200, 300 years ago, before than us. So Europe has been lacking somehow. And it's very nice and funny to clarify there is a difference between Italy and French. Sometimes, you know, we say that Italian people don't like French, and French doesn't like Italian people. There is like a sort of competition, no? Because both of the countries work in luxury and But the main difference is simply the kind of lifestyle. Because French lifestyle, the culture behind the luxury brand in French is more mythological. Is more, I want to show you this slide. Okay, is more related to l'art de vivre, the way to live. Art de vivre, if you think about the, I don't know, the big palace they have, and the way they also used to, how they put on the table the bottle. According to you, is Moschino a luxury brand? No, it's a high fashion. And I'm going to tell you exactly now that in French, behind the culture of luxury, there are generations and generations of family, big heritage. So you see, there's, you know how many generations there are behind Hermes? I think minimum 4 or 5 generations. Same for Louis Vuitton, same for Cartier. In Italy, it's not like that. In Italy, luxury is not so linked with previous generation. No, it in any case is a luxury. It's a family business, but because it's normal when you create something good to involve your family into the business, but there are not 200 years of history behind Versace or Moschino. The difference between Italian brands and French brand is that Italian brands are more into the excellence of the quality. A luxury Italian brand like Salvatore Ferragamo, for example, Brunello Cucinelli, I hope you know this name, but if you don't know, I invite you to search. Cucinelli is the best one worldwide luxury brand for cashmere, and Salvatore Ferragamo is top brand for leather. There are not a lot of years of history. Yes, there are like 50 years, 40 years, but not 200, 300 years of history. And luxury brand is more about quality, is more about excellence in the main production chain. And that's the reason why Made in Italy is so famous worldwide, because Italian luxury brand, they prefer to be recognized as luxury, not a luxury like inaccessible. No, this is more French attitude, but a luxury has the expression of the top quality. And this is why, again, Italian put a lot of attention into details in the production. So, and I have to say that is something that is in our blood. I can see, I used to work in different companies, and even in Cavalli and in Fendi. And sometimes we tried to make production maybe in China, just for a specific categories, or just to reduce a little bit the price. But it was too difficult, because to transfer a know-how is the most difficult thing you can do. You need to control this production a lot. Otherwise, the risk is that you lose the quality. And something that I remember when I worked with the Roberto Cavalli kids, one day we spent 2 hours, I swear 2 hours, discussing between the product manager, so the manager that has to keep a price in a certain target, and the Roberto Cavalli himself, that insisted to have a button of real hood instead than a fake one. Okay, hours and hours on something that no one in the world can see the difference. So this is too much, but it means to be excellent in the production, to put attention in each single detail. If you use the best silk you have, the best cashmere, the best embroidering you have, and then you put a zip that is cheap, these details completely ruin everything of your product. And that's why I suggest you to use the best of your country and the best of another country. If Italy is good to do the made in, the production, and you are good to supply fabric because you are, it's good to provide, to try to mix the two things. So just to finish this part, there is a lot of other things to say, but I show you a video that I made for you to show the difference between the culture of luxury in France and the culture of luxury in Italy. So there is an interview. Next. Okay. This is Hermes. The guy that is talking is the CEO of Hermes. And you see, he is one of the family after 4 generations. And basically, they sell dream. No, listen. There is advertising because it's for YouTube. Let me. This was the opening in Los Angeles, I think.
And members.
Okay, this
is the
CEO.
Decorative. Everything is fun.
In the south of France, it's called Mischka.
The company makes everything from clothing to furniture. But Hermes is probably best known for bags, sported over the years by the likes of Grace Kelly, who has a purse named after her, to Kim Kardashian, who doesn't. Then there are the famous silk scarves, often graced with images of horses and riding gear. That's where it all started.
Oh, sorry, I want you to hear this
Not
part.
only we are offering our product, but we are also offering to make your dream come true.
And those two fellows proudly conducting a tour for reporters.
And also some classic features, that is stripes.
They just happen to be 6th generation members of the founding family.
Okay, 6th generation.
CEO Axel Dumas.
It's nothing decorative, everything is functional in a bag.
And his cousin, creative director Pierre-Alexis Dumas.
These handles, I love them. It's a tree that only grows in the south of France. It's called Mischka.
You see, all the family is still inside, 6th generation, and the creative director is the cousin of the CEO. Wait.
The company makes everything from clothing to furniture. But Hermes is probably best known for bags, sported over the years by the likes of Grace Kelly, who has a purse named after her, to Kim Kardashian, who doesn't. Then there are the famous silk scarves, often graced with images of horses and riding gear. That's where it all started. Founder Thierry Hermes was a harness maker.
Very early, he was recognized as a great achiever of the highest quality of harnesses. His son took over his business and opened it to retail and extended it to saddlery and horse riding equipment.
The company still sells handcrafted saddles, making them on the top floor of the flagship Hermes store on one of the most fashionable streets in Paris.
For me, it is a great inspiration, not only for me, but for designers I work with, to come here and remember our roots.
But the leather goods that many women...
You heard, guys? Remember our roots. Everything comes from the ability to do something specifically. And as you saw, it was not luxury at the beginning. It was a store that produced details for horses.
Women covet are those bags, like the Birkin, named for British actress and singer Jane Birkin. She was once seated on a plane next to Pierre Alexi's father, Robert Dumas, and complained that she'd never found the perfect purse.
She was just saying, oh, my dream bag is. My father was, as she was talking, making sketches and notes. He was very good at making quick sketches. And that's how it came about, really. Do you say serendipity?
Serendipity indeed. The bags are so pricey and popular, they were lusted after on Sex and the City.
It's 4,000.
I know.
And there's a waiting list.
I assumed.
5 years.
The company makes no apologies for the scarcity of some bags or the cost, which can be tens of thousands of dollars for purses made from certain rare skins.
There's a limited amount of quality supply of leather. We don't want to compromise on quality. I think it's the English who say, I can't afford to buy cheap.
Indeed, the craftsmen and women at this factory outside Paris trained for at least 18 months. Every stitch is hand-sewn, the same care lavished on the inside of the bag as the outside. It's all a source of great pride for workers like Jocelyne Zerbib, who's been here for more than 3 decades. When you tell people that you work for Hermes, what's the response?
I see stars in the eyes of the people I talk to.
And they ask for, can you get me one, right?
Of course. But I said no.
But you might be surprised to learn that the notion that Hermes would start making bags was hatched on American soil.
This one is still working, as you can see.
Yes.
Iconic product.
80 years old.
Axel Dumas says it all began when his great-grandfather, Émile Hermes, made a trip to the U.S. during the First World War and bought the European rights to an American invention, the zipper.
And it's the first purse of Hermes. He did a purse for his wife with the zipper, which was very modern at the time.
Émile's Paris office has been turned into a private museum.
We used to say, and I'm not going to apply that to myself, but to rule Hermes, you need to be a little bit crazy. And Émile Hermes, he was crazy about collection.
There is this feathered parasol purchased by Émile.
His first collecting item was this. He bought it when he was 14-year-old.
Later, it became the inspiration for a silk scarf. So did this model horse and carriage, made entirely out of paper. Which brings us to the iconic Hermes scarf. The company's been making them since 1937, manufactured near Lyon, the famous silkworking center of France. The company creates only 20 new designs each year.
On this design, we have 34 colors.
Kamel Amadou was our guide to the complex process that goes into creating each Hermes scarf.
The work of the designer and the work of the engraver and the work of the colorist, then the work of the weaver, then the printer, then the finishing, we need 2 years of work for each new Hermes scarf.
That helps explain why they retail for more than $400 each. But shoppers can't seem to get enough Hermes goods, and revenue has doubled at the company in the last 4 years. There are now 300 plus stores worldwide, and the company made about $1 billion in profits last year. Pierre-Alexis Dumas thinks he understands why.
The reason why a company is successful is because it is a family company.
Indeed, everyone at the company seems driven more by pride than profit, though nothing is taken for granted.
Hermes, it's about a long, long tradition of almost 180 years. So you have to be proud of the past, but always look for the future.
Voila. I hope, guys, you enjoyed this video. I think that after our class regarding what luxury is, the true luxury, in this video you see everything: the dream, tradition, but innovation, the capacity to do something, the handability to do something, but the capacity to evolve from the origins to keeping the DNA but be contemporary, and also the difference with and also the typical culture of luxury brand in French that is different than Italians. Italians a little bit more funny, I would say more strong in terms of image. We are more fashion than luxury, to be honest, and I absolutely sure about it. I don't show you the Cucinelli, but I think it's better to stop here before to go ahead with luxury as customer and to finish with luxury is not. So after this, the next class, we close the chapter about luxury. So you know very well what luxury is. And then the last two, I will talk about the brand identity and business models and the something that is more analytic, but I think you need to know. If you have some question or you think you want to, let's stop here. There is some question. If we talk about Indian luxury brand, do you think, I love this brand so much. I know your brand. I know this brand. I think they are, yes, I think in somehow the unique thing they need to wait for is time. If they wait a little bit, they become for sure a luxury brand. We cannot say they are fashion because they are not. They don't follow the trend, they follow their roots. So the path they are doing is right. They are focusing their business on what they are able to do, and this is the secret. They are giving a pleasure, yes, to buy and to wear it to the customers. They are communicating in the right way. They are in our roots, so the distribution is also exclusive. And yes, my suggestion is to be very close to the roots, yes, but not too much, how I can say, not too much ethnic. If I like the brands that talk too much about the culture, but too much, like for example, African print. One of the students one time showed me a collection that was completely printed, typical African print. It was amazing, of course, but too much ethnical. You need to take your roots, but be also innovative, contemporary, mix with new texture, with new fabric, to don't be too much local. What would be an ideal example of an Indian luxury brand? To be honest, Mahima, at the moment, Sabissachi, well, may you pronounce how it is, someone of you?
Sabyasachi.
Okay, Sabissachi. Sabissachi is one of the lucky brand at the moment. I think because there's so many future manager in luxury and fashion like you, I wish to be. For sure, something great will happen in India, and some amazing brand will come from India. I'm sure about it, because even when I talk with Shivang about the new talents from FED, I see such a big know-how, a big handability, and the great culture that you have to communicate to the people, to the customers. So I'm sure about it. So guys, I know that I'm going, how do stylists get an opportunity to work with luxury brands? If I tell you the last thing is, maybe it's not connecting to our master about stylists. Stylist is now so popular, so trendy. And if you understood the meaning of trendy, you also understand easily that there are so many. Because when something is very trendy and you arrive to the peak, then you go down easily and there is a lot of competition. So it's very difficult to be a stylist for the brands, because they're inside, the first stylist is the designer. And there are so many stylists at the moment. And I suggest you to focus on something that is more about the brand, about communication, about product, about distribution, than stylist. Because I know stylists, it sounds something that is funny, but it's not so easy to find a job. You need to have a lot of connection. Connection is important in fashion, in luxury, in your life. But for become a stylist and to have the possibility to do your work, you need to have a big portfolio of previous experience and also a big network around you.